this video, I'll be re-editing this new plot twist music video by Drake. Iceman finally dropped and honestly I love it. Not one of his best records, but it's definitely up there. And I see a lot of people calling it mid, which is like insane because the album is actually good. But anyways, in this re-edit, I'll be using Essential FX bundle heavily. So if you want 40 plus drag and drop FX, just check the description out. But let's just jump into a... So to start off in After Effects, I have this plot twist music video by Drake. So first thing what I'm gonna do is right click, go to scene edit detection and just scene edit detect real quick. So it adds cuts where the actual cuts are in the video. And this will make our VFX process way easier. So let this do its thing. Now it's done. You can see it added all these cuts into the scene. So now it will be a lot easier to add like FX and stuff. For this edit, I like to keep it like really slow paced effects because as you can see the clips are longer, like it's longer than usual because it's a cinematic video, so I don't want to ruin the vibe of cinematic video as well. So I'm just gonna keep it very light, like some light VFX, so it actually looks good with the video, you know, it matches with the video and stuff. But I'm gonna scale it up everything a little bit more because of the black bars. It will be a little difficult for the VFX to blend in, so maybe something like this. Yep, looks good. So now after this done, the first thing I'm gonna do in this first clip is add a simple flicker in here. I'm using Sapphire for this. I'm gonna lower down the frequency actually because the flicker will like build up the effect. That makes sense, like it will build up the vibe because we got a beat drop right here, so it will go really well. And at the starting, I'll add an adjustment layer using my clutch panel and go over to it says animation presets, and in user presets I'm gonna use Essential FX V1 and 2. So from here I'll be adding something like flicker in. If you don't already know, this is one of the best pack for music video editing. Comes with a lot of FX, like 80 FX for your music video. From there I added this crazy flicker effect at the start. It looks very insane, and I like to add more zoom into the scene. So what I'm gonna do is add something like a blur curve. If you don't know about this effect, what it basically does is it is transform, but a better version of transform basically. If you don't have this, you can just use nulls and stuff, but I'm gonna take all these effects actually and make a adjustment layer on top of it and just put it right here, so everything is on adjustment layer. You can name this flicker, you can name this flicker in, and right here I'm gonna name this zoom, so yeah, it's like better to understand, you know. Now in blur curve and in my zoom layer, I'm gonna make a keyframe right here and just zoom it in basically, something like that. And in here using my plugin, which is the clutch bar. If you don't know this it's really clutch of a plugin because you can add like adjustment layer and a lot of those stuffs, even like graphs and stuff, and you can even save your own preset in here, which is pretty cool. So as you can see, it has a lot of graphs in here, so I'm gonna use this graph right here from the plugin. And now if you take a look, you can see at the end we have that zoom in right here. And to transition into the scene, what we're gonna do is add adjustment layer in top, and then we're gonna use some kind of like hit of a transition, like something like a shake. For that I'm gonna go into the V1 Essential FX and drop in something like horizontal shake transition right here, a very cool one. So I'm gonna drag this like that, and you can see a solid shake transition, but I'm gonna go into this keyframe real quick and make it a little more tight because I think it's a little loose, so maybe something like this, so it happens like very immediately. And I'm gonna actually pre-comp this clip and go ahead into here and add a adjustment layer and add something like a blur curve again and make a zoom animation real quick. So I'm gonna zoom it into his face, so maybe something like this or maybe something like that. And we're gonna select these keyframes and add another graph from the clutch panel, so maybe something like this. And now you can see the graph is added in one click. And now if we play that through, you can see it zooms into the Drake. I can write the lyrics right here, so I can write I can talk on broadcast cause sticky. So yeah, we can add something like that of lyrics in the bottom, which would look cool, and make this whatever color you like. Maybe I'm gonna go with slightly orange type of look so it matches with the like the video itself. And then what I'm gonna do is add a fade transition fade effect in here. So in V2 I believe there's a preset, I think it's called text animation 3, is it? Or it's the text animation 2 right here, and you can just line this up. For me that's perfect, but I think at the end I'm gonna bring this like that. And now if you play through a very smooth of animation, like fade animation like that, as you can see, you can bring this more and just like that, and we can lower down the opacity of the actual thing to make blend it more, so everything blends in very better. And right here what I'm gonna do is add adjustment layer and add something like a Oxford V2, which is basically a dark transition. I really love this one for like these type of dark songs. It goes hard. And where it says free cheesy, free crazy, I don't know who the person is, but I want to switch scenes because this scene is too static. So maybe something like, I'm gonna go in here and see what I can find. Yeah, maybe something like this. I'm gonna grab this clip right here and drag it right here from the actual music video, of course. And maybe this one clip, this is pretty solid, so we're gonna drag this over here. And to transition between all of these, we're gonna use something like a framer. So I'm gonna use framer 3, which is basically like flashes, like different type of flashes. And I'm gonna make one framer and add an exposure in here as the transition into the next scene like that. And in this clip it's too static, so I'm just gonna zoom it in and just create a scale animation basically. And right here we got another beat head, so we're gonna add a shake in here. For the shake I'm gonna go with something like vertical in, so it add this vertical shake right here, really smooth one. And we're gonna add another adjustment below that and add something like a NV2, which is basically is like a zoom. I really love this one for music videos. Maybe put this before like the shake so it doesn't glitches. Yeah, like that. Looks very crazy, as you can see. And right here what I'm gonna do is pre-comp all of these and use some like, so right where he does this gesture, what I'm gonna do is pre-comp the clip again, the actual clip. I'm gonna trim it right here. Right when it does this gesture, what we're gonna do is add something like time warp and set it to 100 for now and hit the stopwatch in the speed, and as it goes you can just slow it down to 30. I even have a time warp preset in here, I believe. So yeah, I have slow-mo 30% and 5% for you, so you can drag that on if you have my Essential FX. And now you can see the slow-mo like that. Looks crazy. And at the ending I'm gonna hit the stopwatch in here again and just bring up the time so it like goes back, and you can select those keyframe and add a graph. I added this, and now if I put this through, one more thing, we can add adjustment layer on top of it, one more, and we can zoom it in where it's like slow-mo. So we're gonna add another blur curves. Zooming in with blur curves is way more easy rather than zooming in with something else. So yeah, if you don't have Sapphire, just use something like nulls and stuff, it also works. Yeah, something like this. And maybe I'm gonna experiment with my Grunge FX. If you don't know, I have another preset pack, it's called Grunge FX, and it's add this like super cool grungy FX to your music video. If you wanna check this out, I'll also link it in the description actually. And you can see with that one preset we get this crazy like horror type of effect. It doesn't look bad, it looks good. Yeah, it actually looks good. So yeah, something like that. As you can see, it looks crazy. And right here from the Grunge FX again, I'm gonna add something like maybe something like a negative to like flash through and make that transition like there. And now in this scene is super cool, dude. Whoever took this video killed it with this scene. What we're gonna do in this scene is add an adjustment layer and add a zoom. Yes sir. So we're gonna go over to the V2 because it has a zoom preset in there. Like stuff like this makes my life so much easier, because every time making zoom is so tedious, but that solves my Essential FX because I have all the FX that's needed in daily basis. So as you can see, this zoom, if I didn't have this preset pack, I had to go in and create this zoom every time, but just the preset pack helps, like it really comes into clutch. And now in here we're gonna add framer 4 at the end of the other clip, so it like actually transition through. Like framer 4 is super cool because it has this like cool flashes. This is like a flash effect right here, so I'm just gonna leave it as it is. And right here in this scene, I must leave it as it is because like he's rapping straight up and there's no camera movement, so there's no reason for me to go ahead and like, so I'm gonna add an exposure at the starting and just leave it as it is. If you want, you can go ahead and add a like a light flicker, like a fade light one though, like yeah, something like this. And at some part I think his scene is looking really good, so what I can do is add something like CC light trees. Even though I said I won't do anything, I'm gonna add this right here and bring up the intensity, yeah, something like that, and then hit the stopwatch in the center and just track it, something like this. So his scene basically looks like it's glowing, and I'm gonna just give him the intensity so it goes in and out real quickly. Now we have played this through, you can see that looks very cool for a moment. And right here we have another super cool shot of Drake driving. So what we can do is add a horizontal shake that I added earlier right here. Copy this, paste it right here, and something like that. Bring out the keyframes, put it like that. And now you can see a super cool shake to begin this. And what we can do is add a super cold of a zoom. So what we can do is bring up this and hit the stopwatch and the scale. And now if I play this through, you can see we have this zoom animation going on here. Looks pretty cool, I feel like. More 808s in here, so I'm gonna add all of these shakes in all of these because I think it will look cool. Yeah, something like this of a shake. And in this another scene, I'm gonna add a zoom in at the start and add something like puddle fade. Line this up like that. And now in this scene, what I'm gonna do is add a zoom firstly because it goes with everything. And with his O3 right here, I like to add like a zoom into his fingers. So we're gonna add a blur curve right here as well, and just add this to his hand and zoom this in. It creates this like super smooth transition with the zooms, you know. I really like this shot as well. And in this clip, what I'm gonna do is halfway through, around like here maybe, I think around like here, I'm gonna go in and add something like a warp wave slice. It is like this crazy wave effect, as you can see. Looks crazy. It looks like a VHS effect. I like to break it off with a shake, so let's just add the same shake we were adding before. So let's just grab this, put this right over here, and just line this up like that. And in this whole 2 clip of sequence, what we can do is and slap something like a NV2 to add a clean zoom in here. And right here, another cool scene right here I like to do is add a vertical shake in and mix it in with something like a hotspot too. At the end, we're gonna add the hotspot. Yep. And at this last clip, I'm gonna end it off with Minimax because I'm too lazy to add any other effects. I might be the laziest editor out there. But yeah, let's just add the Minimax right here. And yeah, with that, I think our Drake re-edit is done in my style. So let me just play this through for y'all and let's see how it goes. Of course, I went a lot lighter in this one because the song was pretty dark, and yeah, my style doesn't fit in with dark styles, but I still tried. If you want to check out a really cool one, I did a Yeet re-edit which turned out insane, so you can check that out if you want to see some cool. This looks also cool.
I can't talk on bro case cause it's sticky. Free tea and free greasy, my Achilles. My youngest put lots on the city, so niggas be shit to come out when it's litty. T, that's the Cody, so free him. These niggas are joking, I wouldn't wanna be him. I be the producer, like what's the BPM? I cannot de-escalate things that we see him. My young boys don't do it for clout. If they do it, they cover their head and their mouth. Swear there's some shit I'm forgetting about. 03 of the slime when they letting him out. I be with them guys from the 6 that you niggas stay talking on Reddit about. Say a whole lot, but we saw you and we had you begging it out. Remember that shit? Twisting it. Yeah, twisting his fingers and looking at me. Twisting some shit up that I never seen. Twisting it up, I don't know what that means.
As you can see, very simple of an edit. And yeah, if you want more sauce like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoy, smash that like button right now. But I'ma see you on the next one. Peace.